I've got skills, they don't know where to use me. I'm like the best dressed dude at the nude beach. Nice to meet you. I am more the quiet type, I tend to be a shyer guy.
Hey everybody. I just had a coughing fit right before this started. I need to drink some water. How's it going? It's Wednesday. I missed last Wednesday because I was working on the album and I was kind of in the zone, and I asked my Discord nicely if they wouldn't mind if I didn't stream because I was doing something. But today I wasn't, so now I'm here. Who we got? Oh, my name's Bug. I'm in a band called Bug Hunter. If you stumbled upon this stream randomly and don't know why you're here, you probably at one point saw a video called Too Bad, Too Bad and a Ghost, or you saw a video called Deer McCracken, and you were like, oh yeah, I'll follow that guy. And now, like a year or 4 years later, I just popped up as a notification of like, this person is live, and you're like, I don't know who that is, but I'll click on it. Yeah, that's probably what it was. So my name is Bug. I play songs. I have a bunch of albums out, and I talk a bunch about stuff. But today we have some regulars here. Mars is here. I See the Island. Coin is here. Tree is here. Pernios. That's what I'm going to go with. I thought about it, and I'm going with Pernios. Pop the Dragon. Shueisei, which I will never remember how to pronounce that one, but that's what I go with every time. Heavy-Handed Panda is here. Shadow is here. Crazy Week is here. Travis is here. Grace Arabella. Peeker is here. Snorby. And Josiah Simmons was here. Thought they were first, but wasn't. So, Pyro. So this is the thing I had was, Pernios doesn't sound like pyro, and I know I'm looking at your little profile image, and I think it's very small for me. I think it's a bird, but at first I thought it was a flame because it kind of has this red tinge to it, and so I was like, this is fire related. So is it Pyreneos? Which I was like, no, it's not Pyreneos. So I went with Pernios. But anyways, all of that went through my head in the 2 seconds. So it's a cockatiel with a firehead tip. Knew it. Cool. Oogway's here too. Hey, Oogway. Coin is asking about doing a stream to do Bug Out. That would be fun. I really want to play Bug Out. That would be a lot of fun. I've never played it on anywhere but the Discord. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Ladybug what her plan is the rest of the night, and maybe I'll do some Bug Out. Anyways, I do music, and I play songs, and then I talk, and I'm doing that in the opposite order. I'm talking before I do music, so let me go ahead and just let me play something. What do y'all want to hear? Coin wants gum. Grace wants to chase. What is my guitar tuned to? Standard. Always. Nothing but standard. That's all I do, cause I used to get really, really anxious about having to retune my guitar on stage. And now it wouldn't be that big of a deal, cause I can talk and do it. And like 8 years ago, I couldn't talk and tune, and it was like the most awkward 30 seconds ever. And now I'm really good about just chatting on stage while I'm tuning. And 8 years ago, if I did that at open mic, people I didn't have anything to say, but now people actually are interested in what I'm talking about, so it's easier now. But yeah, I've never messed with alternate tunings. The only song that only Bug Hunter song that I ever recorded that wasn't in standard tuning was a song called Common Sense off of Surge of Confidence. It was a Bug song, and it's tuned down a half step because there's a little thing that I do with the it's like a slide up into the chorus that I needed to be further down than I was to sing it in the key that I wanted to sing it in. So that first thing that I played there sounded like My Ass is a Dump Truck by the Nurse's Cookbook, but I didn't mean for it to be. Why is everybody asking for Surge of Confidence songs? None of these suggestions are grabbing me. I played Key to Being Lonely last week, so I might not play that one. I think that was the last song I played on the Sunday stream. So, and there's a lot of people asking for covers. I don't play covers, so yeah, I'm only gonna be playing Bug Hunter music. So, a Slow Bird, yeah, it's a good one. Try Best. I feel like I did that. It's all right. $$ Sax for hard mode. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm not even gonna think about the lyrics to the song art, and I'm just gonna go for it, and we'll see what happens. Heroes easy to be. They lack the training, coordination, waiting for destiny. They're just a puppet, a prophecy, or a famous last name. Well, I've been playing villain for far too long. I'm both a cat to a mouse, as I'm a cat to a dog. I've got cartoon physics hitting every single branch of my way. We're all drawn to danger since we were just kids. The tropes aren't so subtle, cliche as it is. You've got your money in a $sign sack. I've got a girl, I've got it tied to the tracks. Heroes easy to be. They all start average, girls pass until they're pulled to their feet. And via montage, they've gone from weak to awesome in a couple of days. But I've been playing villain for quite some time. You best believe my wanted poster reads it's dead or alive. If I'm gonna go, I better make it worth the money they'll pay. We're all drawn to danger since we were just kids. The tropes aren't so subtle, cliche as it is. You've got your money in a $sign sack, and I've got a girl, I've got it tied to the tracks. I've got the rope and you've got the wrist, and I'll pull it tight and give it a twist. And you bring the beauty, I'll bring the risk. I know that it's twisted, but I can't resist. I've got the rope and you've got the wrist, and I'll pull it tight and give it a twist. And you bring the beauty, I'll bring the risk. I know that it's twisted, but I can't resist. Hey! And you ride in style with your bulletproof glass. Spent all week perfecting your sinister laugh. Well, you're revealing your plan of attack. I've got a girl, I've got it tied to the tracks. And you got your money in a $sign sack, and I've got a girl, I've got it tied to the tracks. You've got your money, yeah, you've got your money, you've got your money in a $sign sack, but I've got a girl, I've got it tied to the tracks. Yeah. Coin, I see you. I know I sang the verses in the right order because I say cat and dog in the first one, and I say wanted poster in the second one. So I know I got it right. I at least know I know it when I do it. It's just I don't know if I'm gonna do it when I do it. And I stand by those words. No, I didn't get it in the wrong order. You stop that. Cool, it's a song called Dollar Sign Sax. And it's a lot of fun to play, and it's a really good song. And if y'all could start listening to it more, that would be appropriate, I think. Yeah. That was Baby Teeth, and I just really, really messed it up. So why don't we do this? Why don't we do a little cozy Q&A? But maybe not cozy. Maybe up-tempo Q&A? Because that's where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm like coming off of the my sickness, which I was not down with, by the way. And I don't know. I got a weird energy. So if you have questions for me, here's some prompts. Here's some things that you can ask me questions about. I'm working on a new album, if you haven't heard. It's been kickstarted, and progress is being made. You can ask questions about the new album and how it's coming. I will selectively answer it as well as I can. I'm getting I'm getting closer to where info is gonna start coming out. So I'm relaxing the reins a little bit, so I might be able to talk a little bit more. And then I'm also going on tour in about 3 weeks with the Narcissist Cookbook for an entire month. So you could ask about that. And that's it. No, freeform. Anything you want, but if you can't think of anything, those are good ones. Okay. Making Monkey wants to know, how's the fourth album progressing? Hey, perfect. So I'm gonna play this a little quieter so I don't have to yell over my. It's coming along really well. I am currently, as of the last couple of days, I am done writing it. And what that means is that I am comfortable releasing every song on this album with the lyrics that they have right now. Does that mean I'm not going to tweak things here and there? No. I think there's a few things that could use a little bit of a bump, but there are no more red flag lines where I have a hard this has to change. I don't want to sing this for the rest of my life. I don't stand by this lyric, not for any objectionable content, just not good enough. There's moments in the album that I was oh man, there's one line is so pivotal to the song, and it just it's falling so short right now, and it needs to be better. And as of about 2 days ago, I don't have any more lines that I'm not this is good enough. At the bare minimum. So so that's very good. That means that the only thing between the album coming out and now is just brute forcing just all the work that needs to get done as far as mixing and mastering, because lyric stoppages are hard because I don't know if I'm going to fix them in a day or a week or a month, because that's how creativity works. But if it's the snare is too quiet in this part, then I just turn it up. It's not in a variable amount of time of how long that's going to take to do. As of about 2 days ago, all of my problem spots have been at least brought up to this is Bug Hunter quality. There's still a couple of things I'm if I could think of something better, I'll throw it in there. But this is a very solid album. So. Ryan says, what's the thing that's stopping you from sharing everything right now? All of my hard work being presented in a way that is not respectful of all of my hard work, I guess. I could tell you all of the songs and what they're about, and I could sing them all right now. But me and the band have been working for, in cases, years to get this album done, and I want y'all to hear it in the way that we've been working so hard to have you hear it in. So, Crusher wants a random chord from any of the songs in the new album. I'll try to give you something that's not just a basic chord. Let's see if oops, forgot I'm me. That's all I know how to do. There you go. There's something. That's gonna be on there. Coin wants to know, did Jesse end up recording all of his parts yet? Jesse is done with all his bass parts. Jesse and I are gonna do one more. I did a guitar solo on one of the songs, and I like it. It's if we release it with it, it's good enough. But I was like, hey, do you have like an hour to just take a stab at it? So I think that'll be the last thing. Why are we talking about snails? Hold on, I gotta read back up the snail tail escargot with the flow is very good. The key to being slimy is very good as well. Sharp wants to know, do you have any idea when you'll be on tour again after this? So we tour in July. Let me just I'll put the dates up because there's no reason. Oh, and I didn't update my graphic. One of these things has changed. This is what we're doing for the rest of the year. This is basically gonna be it. I think, especially for me and Matt combined, this is definitely all we're doing this year. If I do anything else solo this year, it would be later on. But Pittsburgh is sold out, so I need to put a sold out thing on Pittsburgh. But other than that, I think there's one ticket left for Dallas, which I might just bump to 2, just so that somebody doesn't have to go alone. I think there's like 13 for St. Louis, maybe, and New York has about 45. And then everything else in the UK in October in the UK and Ireland and Germany, those all have an appropriate amount of tickets. So hopefully we shouldn't have as many sold out way ahead of time. That's the thing. I don't mind if they sell out the day before. It's the selling out 3 months ahead of time that is a bummer. These are the dates. This is what it's going to be for this year. I'm looking at doing I really want to try to do a concept where I do a show in a city. I'm thinking either I have 3 contenders right now. One is Seattle, where I'm from. One is Nashville, where my parents live, and one is either like Richmond or DC. That's where I live now. Where I do a 2-night concert series where on night 1 I play all of Torn Between a Couple, Intermission, all the Rough Draft, and then go home. Next night play all of Bigger Than Myself, and then Intermission, and then all of this 4th album once it's out. And so I had doing like a 2-night kind of like Friday Saturday or Saturday Sunday thing, and I'm trying to arrange that right now. I have I have a venue in Seattle that's helping me figure that out, but they haven't responded in a little bit, so so that's what I would probably be doing after that. And then I don't know what my plan is for next year. The first 3 months of the year, I'm probably not going to do anything because my wife is finishing school in December, and she'll have a couple months off between finishing school and starting work. And so I'm not going to be gone for any of that because we're going to travel and finally go on our honeymoon. We've been married for 3.5 years, and we haven't done our honeymoon yet because of COVID. So. And thank you, Coin. Yes, I do need to update this. Liverpool is the 27th, not the 26th. I'll update it eventually. Cool. Uguay wants to know, do you settle on how to play your songs acoustically when you're writing them or after you finish mixing them? That's a really good question, and there's only 2 songs two songs that break the normal songwriting pattern for me. So normally I have a song. Before I even show it to the band, it is like done. Can play it acoustic, just me. Because I'm the only songwriter for the band. Basically, I take my songs and then I bring them to Kyle and Jesse and say, hey, let's make this better and amp it up. But all of my songs are designed so that I can just play them live by myself, because for the most part, the large majority of the shows that I play are solo shows. And luckily, we're gonna have Kyle and Jesse join for Chelsea through Denver, and then Dallas and St. Louis. I'll also have Kyle. Jesse's going home after Denver. But then Columbus through all the way to Edinburgh will be just me solo. So, and to kind of follow up, Coin says, would you ever consider songs written by Kyle and Jesse for Bug Hunter? Is that something you're not interested in doing? Yeah. So, Kyle isn't a songwriter. Kyle isn't on a day-to-day basis. Kyle isn't even like a musician in like the sense of like, Jesse I met at an open mic and was out there playing his own music, and he plays in several different bands, and he has his own band Galloway, which is amazing. Whereas Kyle, if it's been a year since Kyle's drummed or gone on tour with Bug Hunter, it's been a year since like he's played drums. But then yeah, it's Jesse writes for Galloway. Like Galloway is his band, and Bug Hunter is my band. If I was ever looking to collaborate on like co-writing songs, I think I would just have that be a different project, because I've always structured Bug Hunter to be something that I can do. If I'm by myself, I can do it by myself, and I don't need to rely on somebody else being there. And so I own all the rights to all my songs, and I can perform them without having to clear it with anybody. So there's no scenario where like Bug Hunter breaks up and then like you don't hear from us for like 20 years because there's like drama in the band, because I'm the sole owner of all of the rights to all the music, because I wrote all the songs. So which is good for longevity of the band. And there's been various forms. Storm Between a Couple was just me. The Rough Draft, there was 4 of us. It was me and Jesse, and then a drummer named Marcus, and then a guitarist named Mo. And then after that, we moved to a trio, which Jesse taking over guitar and bass, and Kyle coming in on drums. So cool. But I was telling a different story. There's 2 songs that don't go the normal route of I play acoustic and then I bring it to the band and they make it full band. There's 2 songs that started full band and then I had to bring back down acoustic. Well, kind of. So I wrote a song that had these chords. And then I brought this to my band. And I was like, I have this intro line. It's like, I got skills, they don't know where to use me. I'm like the best dressed dude at the nude beach. Nice to meet you. And Marcus at the time was like, what if I do? And Jesse was like, what if I... And then that became disco. And I, for a very long time, and through the writing process from that point, it became like I was working with like kind of the full band version. So then after the album was out and I was like, well, I gotta still play shows, I just kind of went back to the acoustic version of it. So I guess that was acoustic, and then it was full band, and then I kind of was like, okay, I really should play this acoustic. It was really more figuring out what that bridge was, because Jesse does this huge bass breakdown in the middle of the song that I don't do that because I'm not Jesse. And so I had to come up with something there, and I kind of do a... Wouldn't it be the best if all the answers to our questions? And anyways, so I had to do a little bit of molding back into an acoustic version of that. The other song was The Gulf Coast, which was the guitar style of that was from our previous guitarist Mo, who did that kind of flamenco style and was like, what about these chords? And I was like, oh cool, yeah. And so I just took those and I had a recording of those on loop, and I wrote the melody and the lyrics to the Gulf Coast. And so my version of the Gulf Coast is not as kind of extravagant. It's a little more toned down, and obviously doesn't have the guitar solo and all that. But yeah, it's the only other song that doesn't that started. Didn't start from me just writing an entire song, having it finished, and then bringing it to the other musicians that I work with. So that's a good question. Hopefully my answer was at all interesting, but I'll take those down, because if you haven't bought tickets yet, you're not going to. We're talking about Galloway. Yeah, NFO is great. Just like a weekend is golden. I agree. Yeah, I love Galloway because all of their songs are so different, which I think is very key to kind of when you're starting off. I think a lot of people can write one really good song, but then the rest of the songs will sometimes kind of sound derivative of that sound, whereas Galloway's like, nah, I'm doing something totally different over here, and it's as good. So yeah, and I've heard some Galloway music that y'all haven't heard, and it's very good. Cool. Why don't I just do that? I'll do the Gulf Coast. Is that cool with everybody? Cool. That's my official poll. I've noticed a clash between our coasts. It's mostly braggadocious, puffed up claims and sugar-coated. It's East Coast, Ivy League Coast, West Coast, Best Coast, but between those they don't see another option. One more coast that feels forgotten. That might be how it goes. The long shot laying low, but those who know me know I'm like the Gold Coast. I'm like the Gold Coast. Cut me some slack. I don't have fancy marketing or radio ads. I'm like the Gold Coast. Unsure and it shows. No, I don't boast. I'm like the Gold Coast. We'll talk about into the drama, the non-stop assault by all the West Coast tech bros and East Coast egos. Don't you have something else to say? The old catchphrase feels so cliche. The merch can make you an ad display. If you are New York or you love LA, it's overkill like praying for a preacher. It's overkill like a sheep with a t-shirt. It's overkill, no need for a C. It's like an A plus still sleeping with the teacher. I'm like the Gold Coast. Cut me some slack. I don't have fancy marketing or radio ads. I'm like the Gold Coast. Unsure and it shows. No, I don't boast. I'm like the Gold Coast. I'm like the Gold Coast. I'm like the Gold Coast. Cut me some slack. I'm a middle child too, with an ego to match. I'm like the Gold Coast. I'm shy and it shows. No, I don't boast. I'm like the Gold Coast. Thanks, everybody. That's a song called Gulf Coast. It's a very fun song. I think my favorite performance of the Gulf Coast might have been, this was recently, it was like last year. Me and Jesse were playing a show in Richmond together. Kyle had to go home he was on that tour with us, but he had to go home for like a baby shower, I think. So he missed the last show. And so it's just me and Jesse, and we were playing in a backyard in Richmond, and that was when, because I was just us. We weren't touring with Matt, and so that was when I was kind of like taking suggestions from the people when they bought tickets. They could ask for a song, and our set lists were like way all over the place because sometimes it'd be like, yeah, like 7 people asked for the Gulf Coast as like the one song they wanted to hear. So I was like, Jesse, are you cool doing the Gulf Coast? And he's like, yeah, I'll just play bass. And I just kind of like stepped back during the kind of the solo section and just let him just kind of go. And he did like this off the cuff like bass solo in front of 50 people, and it was so cool. We were like looking at each other while it was happening. We were like, this is awesome. And it seemed like everybody at the show also enjoyed it. So that was really fun. Yeah. And then my other favorite Gulf Coast story is, it has one of my favorite misheard lyrics, which, if you don't know, the chorus of the Gulf Coast says, I'm like the Gulf Coast, cut me some slack. I don't have fancy marketing or radio ads. And it's kind of hard to hear because I do kind of like cut the word fancy into 2 distinct parts. It says, I don't have fancy marketing or radio ads. And our drummer at the time, Marcus, just always thought I was saying, I don't have fan Steve Harvey where my radio at. And that has always been one of my favorite misheard Bug Hunter lyrics. And I think the last show that I played with Marcus, because Marcus he left Seattle and left the band to go hike the Appalachian Trail for a year. But I saw him about 6 months into that because they stopped off in Tennessee and North Carolina to get married. And so we were playing a show, and Marcus was there with his other old band. It's like he like got the 2 bands together in Chattanooga, and Kyle was touring with us because Marcus was doing the Appalachian Trail, but Marcus was there because it was like the 2 nights before his wedding, and so we had him come on for the Gulf Coast. And I remember we had to switch the drums around because he's a left-handed drummer, and we had him play the Gulf Coast with us, and I sang it as Steve Harvey, where my radio at, for that entire show. So cool. There's some Gulf Coast lore. I should do another This Is a Song, and do all of my. I really like the Gulf Coast lyrics. That's a song that I don't play a lot. Because like I said, the version that exists on the album is not represented at a live show anymore. But I've always really liked the lyrics to that song. I think they're a lot of fun. Cool. Why don't we do a few more questions, a little more chit chat? I'll play another song, and then I might check in and see what Ladybug is doing. I'll check and see what she's doing, and then if I have an appropriate window to come hang out, then maybe I'll hop into the Discord and play Bug Out or something. Cool. It would have to be a solo game. I know that I don't have 3 hours to play with people, but I could definitely narrate a solo game if I have time, if anything. Cool. So here's what's going on in my world. I'm going on tour in 3 weeks. I'm working my goal, and don't tell anybody. There's 16 people here right now. Don't tell anybody. This is a secret now between just the 16 of us. If somebody else joins, I'm gonna stop talking. But my goal is to be like done with mixing this album by the time I leave for tour. 19 people. Well, there's these 3 people trying to butt in our secrets. So that's my goal. I don't know if I'll hit it, but I have 2 weeks, and now that the principal just like songwriting is all done and wrapped up, it's feasible. I mean, all the songs are just like I'm tweaking things, and then I have to get them all mastered and stuff, and then And then I start planning for like the rollout. What singles are going to come first, getting the artwork for them, getting all the lyric videos that I'll need for everything, all that kind of stuff. So still shooting for, I think August is optimistic, September is likely, I think at this point. Crusher wants to know if we'll ever get a re-record or re-release updated versions of Surge of Confidence songs. So Headlights was one that jumped ship and found its way into the Bug Hunter discography. If you hang around my streams enough, you know that I play The Chase and Swallowing Gum quite a bit, at least on these streams. And I think realistically both of those songs will at some point come out as Bug Hunter songs. I just don't know when to say when. So, and then I have a pretty like almost done version of Amanda that I've rewritten, but it's got a couple lyrics that I still need to touch up, and every time I try, I just fall flat on my face. So. Same wants to know, will this new album have the long-awaited preteen with a taser sequel to Toddler with Slingshot? I don't really write sequels to my songs. So like I don't have any plans to write like Dear McCracken 2 or anything like that. But I think it's totally valid to write songs that kind of follow up on some of the themes of earlier songs. As I've been kind of thinking about this album and what it means to me, there's in a lot of ways it feels like a response to not to Dear McCracken, but to the song Dear McCracken and what the song means to me, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't mean to say that this album is a follow-up to Dear McCracken, the story of Dear McCracken, but this album in a lot of ways, very interestingly, and I didn't really intend this, but as I'm been listening to it over and over again and thinking about what it means, and in a lot of ways it feels like an exploration of the song, the themes of what the song Dear McCracken kind of introduced into the world. So so to answer the question about Surge of Confidence, I don't intend to ever release like Surge of Confidence all rewritten. I think if I ever release all of the songs, it will have been slowly piecemeal over many different projects, many different albums, and then maybe if that happens, I don't know, I can make a Spotify playlist with everything. I mean, what's the difference? So yeah, I don't intend to make Surger of Confidence. Crimson wants to know, would you ever consider playing Swallowing Gum or The Chase on tour? I have before. I played The Chase last year a bit. God, Dad, maybe you could remind me if I played The Chase at all in April. I think there's a little bit of, I kind of raise the stakes of like my set list when I tour with Matt, because Matt puts on such a killer show every night that I always feel like I don't want my set list to drag at all. And it's not fair to say that The Chase or Swallowing Gum are a drag on my set list. I just mean that people show up to come see a show and, say 70% of the audience is like, I love Bug Hunter. Maybe 5% of those people actually know Swallowing Gum, The Chase, like the people who are on this stream or like in the Discord, but the vast majority is like not fair to like play a song that they have no idea it exists, And sometimes you feel like the energy go out of the room a little bit, and it's different. It's different when like I'm like, because I know the feeling of playing, like I'm playing a new song, everyone's very excited. I say I'm playing an old song, and even though it's the exact same, they're hearing a song they haven't heard before by an artist they like. There's something mentally where there's like a weird kind of energy that like kind of leaves the room, and it's very exciting for 4 people, and then it's not as exciting for everybody else. And so yeah, I'm always kind of figuring that out, putting the set list together and trying to make sure that I'm giving people the show that they want to see. Yeah, but maybe one day I'll just be like, I'm playing Slow Burn 11 times. But yeah, I have played them in the past, but not while I've been touring with Narcissus Cookbook, because I'm trying to bring my A game so that I can. I want to make sure that when people walk out of the building, they're not like, the Narcissus Cookbook was phenomenal, and then talk about something else. So Coin is gonna buy out a 200-seat venue and just listen to me play Slow Burn 11 times, which technically you could get that cheaper if you buy a private show. The scary thing is that if somebody really wanted me to do that, I guess I technically would, because when I do private shows for people, I let them pick the set list. And I suppose if somebody wanted to waste their money like that, I would play the songs, and I guess I would just say thank you afterwards, and then I would hate it the whole time. I'd be sitting there like, I hate this. After like the 3rd time, I would hate it. But technically, I suppose I would do it. Yeah. Sound like pine cones. Yeah. Cool. Why don't we, as you can tell, it's getting close to finishing time. So why don't I play a different song, and then I'm not gonna play Slow Burn. I slow burned myself. Whatever, was it 3 streams ago? What do y'all want to hear? I've played something from Torn Between a Couple. I've played something from the Rough Draft. And so why don't we either do something from Bigger Than Myself or something unreleased? I see Safe Word, bragging from Marv. Unreleased could be Surge of Confidence, I guess. Like unreleased Chase, unreleased Falling Gum, or Too Bad and a Ghost. Those are technically legal choices for unreleased. I've been in a very like bouncy mood. You don't. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I could. Yeah, why don't I do this? Marketing just never seemed intuitive, so I stayed back, and in the past I've had nothing to do with it. But People need a map to see what they should give a damn about. To save a forest, you may have to print a couple pamphlets out. Oh, this attitude is new to me, but things ain't how they used to be. As soon as we begin to sing, you plug your ears cartoonishly. I check the pecking order well before I cross the road, but either way I'd go, I'd always end up feeling like a joke. I mess up all the time, but you are doing awesome, kid. Time to drop the pouty lip and learn to take a compliment. I'm looking ragged and I'm puffing up my feathers, a chicken with the switch in this position all together. I'll stick my chest and neck out as I decorate this fairy tale. The color will attract a man or aggravate the alpha males. So just find the surface, don't consume. Produce a tune or something new. Use your hands to make a thing that won't exist unless you do. You may not make a masterpiece, get your face in magazines. You won't be the next Newton just by napping under apple trees. And live your life like you're a kid, painting, dancing, playing. If you make a thing creative, that you pin that shit up on the fridge. I'm bragging and I'm puffing up my plumage, persuading all the parakeets I'm perfect, but the truth is my vocab will distract you. You're just baffled, you can talk to me, but don't forget a parrot's only honest as he's taught to be. Just recently, our very own Mars celebrated their Bugiversary in our Discord, which is 3 years, which we're all very grateful to have Mars and all the wonderful things that they bring to this community. I might exaggerate to turn it up a notch. You know what they say, give the people what they want. I might exaggerate to try to sound cool. Describe a Shark Tank while talking about a kiddie pool. And I realized after I kind of gave that little vignette that the next thing I was about to say was I might exaggerate to turn it up a notch, and I wasn't exaggerating. And I'm diving right in and I am swimming just to make a big splash. Little fish and big fun, little bird and bird bath. I can puff out my chest as I float on my back. I am buoyant, I guess, when I learn to relax. If I'm gonna speak up, then I better impress. Make my diaphragm grow and my vocal cords stretch, and my voice will get hoarse, but my story will spread like a ponytail told off the top of my head. I'm bragging and I'm puffing up my ego. A penguin playing make-believe but rocking his tuxedo. I'll learn to wing it when I think that plan is going south. No matter what, I'll always strut and find something to brag about. That one's from Mars. Thank you, everybody. This was a fun stream. A lot of high energy, good stuff. I think that I am going to drink some water and then go talk to my wife. And then if I'm going to play Bug Out in the Discord, which sorry for just saying that. Bug Out is a game that I designed, and I have a tabletop simulator module for it, which I haven't checked in on in 2 or 3 months, so that should be a good experience to just hop onto a live stream and just make sure it's still working. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll just see if what kind of Ladybug's timeline is, because if she's wanting to get wrapped up with her stuff and then hang out, then I'll probably do that, because I like hanging out with my wife. So yeah, there's a handwritten postcard of the day. Thank you, Mars. It hasn't sold, which I'm very surprised about. Let me get out of the way. I do a handwritten postcard of the day. Today's is "Be God, I Love You," which is it's one of those ones that y'all like. So I don't know. It's not making up words. Making up words has historically not sold very well. It is 1 for 8, I think, for selling when it is the featured postcard of the day. Whereas Even Hold Tough is 6 out of 8. So "Be Glad I Love You" is up there now. Only one person gets it, so and I have it right here. It's sitting right in this box that I keep my cards in, and it is "You love my quirks, I'm certain you deserve a macho man." It almost looks like Nacho Man, but it's Macho Man. But all I am is a silly introvert. Looks like that. That's the one. You can have it. So, anyways, that I guess I get out of the way. Cool. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, join our Discord. It's a good Discord. Mars is in it, so that's worth joining for sure. Cool. I will see y'all on probably not Sunday. My parents are gonna be here this weekend, so I'm probably not gonna stream on Sunday, but probably next Wednesday. Cool. All right, everybody, have a great night.